Many people, they suffer from the identity that they have created for themselves. They suffer from the identity that they believe to be true about themselves, about who they are. And they view themselves as if they are the victim to the circumstances that created that identity for themselves. Almost as if they were granted this role at the beginning of their life, saying, hey, this is who you are by God or by someone, by their parents. They're this person. Here you go, take on this identity. And they're permanently stuck with that. Meanwhile, one of the core building blocks that were used in creating our identity, that are frequently used in creating our identity, because at the end of the day, our identity is not something that is permanent, it is ever changing. And while we fail to grasp the changes that happens from day to day, maybe even over the course of a decade, we fail to see that we actually change a whole bunch, and we still believe that we have this permanent identity. But one of the core elements, one of the foundational building blocks to our identity, to how we view ourselves, is in reality the intention that we put into our actions. Very often we think that our actions are a huge part of who we are. And while they are, one thing that I believe to be even more important is the intention that we bring into our actions. And what I mean by that, by giving you an example here, for example, take a nice guy, a guy that we label as a nice guy, but not the person that is actually just kind and sincere, but the kind of guy that tries to win everyone over by creating a false image of himself, by trying to be nice and friendly with everyone, even though he doesn't really mean it, even though it's not really real for him. The kind of guy that will give a compliment to a woman, not because he means it, but because he hopes that by giving her this compliment, maybe, just maybe, she will actually end up liking him. Maybe she will fall in love with him. And so the compliment is not a sincere compliment. The compliment is really a small manipulation to try to manipulate her into liking him. There's nothing sincere about it. And so this is a perfect example. Why? Because in that compliment is the intention of trying to manipulate, is the intention of trying to get something from her that she is unwilling to give, hence why he needs to manipulate her, because he doesn't believe, and again this is where we come into the intention, he doesn't believe that he's good enough to win her over, so he manipulates by lying, by deceiving her, by trying to create a false, friendly, giving her a compliment kind of persona that isn't real. He's trying to manipulate her because he wants to deceive her. This is the underlying intention behind his action. Meanwhile, he might lie to the whole world and say, no, I'm just a sincere, nice guy, but he can't lie to his subconscious mind. Thus, his intention affects his subconscious mind. Why? Because behind the action is the intention of, I'm not good enough, I need to manipulate to be able to get something out of this world. I don't believe that the world will naturally give something to me because I am not good enough. And so what is the sub-communication in that is, my identity is the identity of a person that women don't like. Hence, I need to manipulate her. Hence, I need to try to deceive her by creating a false persona that she can then like, because the real me is not good enough. Now, after he is taking that action, what will happen? He will feel even more incapable of being a likable person, incapable of naturally making someone like him, incapable of women naturally coming to him, because he is taking action out of a place of disbelief, of believing that he's not good enough, thus feeding into that belief. Whatever belief that we are operating from, we are feeding into. We're feeding it our energy of our actions, of our intention. We're feeding it so much energy that it grows, and his belief about him being not good enough is now a little bit stronger. Now take the exact same action, but this time someone offers a compliment out of deep appreciation of who they're standing in front of, out of a gratitude that that person they're standing in front of exists, out of a gratitude of being in that moment with that person, and they're saying, wow, I can't believe how beautiful you are, with a deep gratitude. That gratitude is coming from a place of abundance, hence why they're grateful for it. What is that subcommunicating? Subcommunicating that I am grateful that you exist, I am grateful to be in this moment with you, I don't have any fear that I'm not good enough for you, because otherwise I would be operating from a place of fear, but I'm operating from a place of abundance, of gratitude. Gratitude is the emotion of abundance. thus we are reinforcing that belief. And after offering that compliment, after stating our truth that I am deeply appreciative of you, I appreciate your beauty, after stating our truth, we can feel it in our body. It's like a vibration in our body of truth, of sincerity, of gratitude, of abundance that fills us with energy, with love, with appreciation, with more of what we're just expressing into the world. Thus, our intention is creating our identity of who we think that we are. Now, what should you do with this information? What I want you to do is, I want you to, next time that you're doing something, you'll be able to feel in your body when you're operating from a bad place, when you're operating from a place of fear. If you get quiet, you can feel in your body when you're doing it. And by examining what is actually my intentions in this moment, by examining that, by looking at that, you can reveal it to yourself and choose to have a different intention that you move into the next moment with. You can choose your intention in this moment, in the next moment, and choose to operate from a place of happiness, of gratitude, of appreciation, instead of a place of trying to deceive, trying to manipulate. And of course, this isn't exclusively about when we meet a person that we're attracted to. It applies to all aspects of our lives, all of our interactions, all of the actions that we take. There is an intention behind it. So it applies to all areas of our lives. By purifying our intentions, we can purify the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we feel about our identity, about who we believe ourselves to be. I hope that you receive this message. I hope that this lands for you. It is very, very powerful. And of course, everyone around you will be able to feel the difference as well. That I don't even need to say that. Everyone around you can feel the difference. The result that you will get in the world will be different. But I don't want you to do it for the sake of getting different results. I want you to do it from the place of wanting the best for yourself, because that is a pure place. If you're doing it to try to get different results, you're still in the mindset of trying to manipulate and deceive the world to get something out of it. But if you're doing it because you want the best for yourself, you want to be feeling abundant within yourself, then you're doing it from a pure place. So make that decision for yourself. Thank you for watching, and take care until next time.